What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I am Tony. Today I am wearing my Zenith Defy Skyline. There is a very dark cloud over the watch industry, and that dark cloud is primarily hovering over a lot of the YouTubers and gray market dealers. I'm gonna roll. I worked on a trailer. I was not gonna do this video. Then I was, and I wasn't. And I'm like, when I did Drinking a Rant previously, I got a lot of people that loved it and just loved it. It was something no one had done before. You know what I mean? All I was doing was calling out YouTubers on mistakes and errors and things that they did, inaccurate information. And then I got a lot of backlash on that, people calling me a hater. And I was like, dude, I'm not a hater. I'm just, if you want to jump on that bandwagon, by all means, go ahead. And I lost a lot of subscribers. Like I say, I don't do this channel just to, I've got nothing to gain from it. As like, I'm not trying to sell you anything other than just talk about watches. I am truly passionate about watches, and I care about watches. I've been doing it a whole hell of a lot longer than a lot of these guys, as far as being into watches and, and just being a true fan of just not just one brand, not just Rolex. Anyway, I decided to pull that Drinking a Rant show. It just got too hectic, and I had death threats and all kinds of shit. So I did a trailer, and I'm not the best editor in the world, but I did this trailer. It took me a long time to do, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to run the trailer, and then we're going to do Drinking a Rant. Fuck it, let's just do it. And if you're, again, I'm not going to bash anybody just to bash him. Like, oh, this is a fucking 62-year-old guy wearing this. Or what. I don't care about that. I'm 56 years old, and I dress like this too, all right? But I'm from Hollywood. I'm in the entertainment industry as well, you know what I mean? And have been for a long time. It's just the way I roll. It's the way I hang. So it led to each their own, okay? So I'm not going to just pick someone apart. But I feel that some of these things may need to be said. So let's roll the trailer and we'll just get into it. And again, if you don't feel like that this is your cup of tea or whatever it is, then just don't watch the video. Instead of like hateful comments or what it may be, and then just deciding you don't want to follow me anymore, by all means, you can do that too. But anyway, let's do this. All right, so I hope you like that trailer. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, and I wrote some things down, and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna wing it, And primarily, a lot of it has to do with, the gray market is not. I mean, the watch industry in general has just corrected itself to where it kind of should be right now. You know what I mean? And with what happened with Timepiece Gentleman, really put that storm cloud over the YouTubers flex. Look at me, I'm a watch YouTuber and I sell freaking watches and I flip them and do all that stuff. When I did Drinking a Rant previously, I called out Timepiece Gentleman way back. Unfortunately, I took that video down just because of the backlash I was getting. I was like, I don't need this kind of shit. And I called him out. I literally said, this dude's a scammer. You're going to find out what's going to happen, and you'll see. I'm not wrong, and look what happened. Dude's in jail, I'm an investigator, I'm good at being able to see through read between the lines and call people out and see what, like, people really following this shit. And I could go on about several YouTubers. One of them I'm just going to start with is Alpha Clowns, Alpha Crown, sorry, just slipped up. Those two brothers that were part of Wolven, you know, they started their thing. Okay, and again, I'm not sure. I mentioned this first and foremost last night's video I did on the Q&A. I screwed up royally. One of the questions I got was, would I pick a Kermit over a Starbucks? And for some reason, I got it in my head he meant the Hulk, and I went with that and compared Kermit. I compared the Hulk to the Starbucks, and I can't believe I did it. And by the time I noticed it, it was too late, and I was just like, are you kidding? It's just been a long, stressful week. So I apologize for that question, but you guys, I hope you understand. So we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. You know, it's what it is, but it's not to the detriment of anyone. Okay, so it was just a general mistake. So Alpha Clowns. That's what I'll call them. There's that pompous brothers. You know, the younger one with the cigar and just sits there and he sort of has that smug look, like, ha. You know, that's what happens when you're young. You're just cocky and confident. You think you know everything, and you don't. And the thing is you've already fucking proved. Again, there's going to be a lot of swearing in this probably. You've already proven that you don't know how to maintain your business, and you've already screwed over a lot of people. See, what happened is when they got robbed, okay, they have a policy with Jewelers Mutual, okay, and apparently that policy was also part of Wolven. Well, those guys split, right? So these two guys are basically saying, well, we can't give you any money until this case settles, and if this case doesn't settle, we'll sue the insurance company and we'll win. And let me tell you something. If the insurance company denies that claim, by the time that claim, if it gets denied, they have pretty much undeniable evidence that would support their reason for denying that claim, and you pretty much won't have a leg to stand on no matter what you do. So, and I don't know the ins and outs of what your policy is, but I can tell you that not only do they have to interview the two Alpha Clown guys, but they also have to interview guys at Wolven. There could be a dispute saying, hey, no, those watches weren't insured under Wolven's policy. It's under Wolven. They have the name Wolven. Now, there's a lot more to just the fact that, well, we've got insurance and these watches were stolen. Are you claiming? How many watches are you claiming? You have to prove that those watches were also in the store when that store got robbed. Are you trying to throw in a couple extra Daytonas there that didn't get stolen just to see if you can cash in a little bit more? There's a lot of red flags from what I've seen just by the two Alpha Crown guys talking. You know, they're digging a hole for themselves way deeper than they should be, and they've already done it. So, and don't think, and I said this last night, that Jewelers Mutual isn't watching your videos, because they are, and they're watching Wolven's videos too, probably, because they were all part of it. You guys split. There might be certain exclusions on the policy that would prevent a payment. Insurance company's not in business to just not pay a claim, but they're in business to investigate that claim and do it thoroughly. And if they find something, red flags will delay the claim. And if they have enough red flags and they can prove that there's something that's legitimately not payable on that claim, and they deny it, you're fucked. And more importantly, the people that trusted you to consign the watches are even more fucked. What you should be doing, Alpha Clowns, is, all right, I shouldn't be calling people names either, right? You know, I wouldn't like it if people did it to me. So I apologize, but I get a little wound up. You know, that's why it's called Drink and Rant, you know. You should have, when you start a business, you should have the capital. We're going to start doing that kind of shit too. The capital for things like this. Yes, you have insurance, but at the same time, it's not the client that consigned the watch to you. It's not their fault you got robbed. You're essentially responsible for their watch. Okay? If the insurance company doesn't pay and you just go, well, sorry, and you know, and now Lus, that LUS guy, who's that Asian guy who does those Timepiece Gentleman videos, he's difficult to understand sometimes. He was bringing up insurance companies, how he hates insurance companies. They don't want to pay. And if I was one of the consigners, I would sue the insurance company. You wouldn't be suing the insurance company, buddy. You would be suing basically the Alpha Crown guys, because that's where that lawsuit would be directed to. And if there's no coverage, there's going to be no coverage, and you're screwed too. Okay? But if there is coverage and you still try to sue them, then they have to protect their insured's interest, if that makes sense to you. However, they've got some red flags. I mean, look, I turn off my investigative mind generally when I'm watching YouTube videos or whatever. But when I see it, I see it. It's like, how do people not see this? And that's just my mind, the way it works, you know. So if they're still investigating the claim, they are. But at the same time, instead of sitting there continuing to, I mean, obviously you got to continue your business, but what you should be doing is finding a way to pay these people back for all the watches that got stolen. You know, simple as that. So, and I certainly wouldn't be doing videos on how great and successful your business is doing, and then, you know, shunning aside people that are trying to get paid on the watches that they trusted you to hang on to. Granted, it sucks you got robbed, but it happens. That's why you have to have not just one outlet for some of these things. You know, if you have insurance, that's great, but at the same time, you know, you should have the capital to be able to pay these people back when that insurance if that insurance claim does settle eventually, then the money will come in and then that's it. But you've already taken care of your consigners. This way, what you're doing right now is basically saying fuck you to the consigners, right? And yeah, you'll get paid when we get paid, man. We can't do anything. It's the insurance, man. You know, not the way to handle business, guys. But at the same time, you know, people still want to do business with you. They still want to, just take my $20,000 Rolex, take my $30,000 watch. It's okay because I like you guys. I like your YouTube channel. I don't care about timepiece, gentlemen. I know you guys won't fuck me. Okay. So that's what I have to say about them. Let's move on to Paul Thorpe. Fucking Paul Thorpe, man. All right. I bagged on him a little too hard in my previous rant videos, a little over a year and a half ago. And they got back to Paul. Paul sent me a bunch of different messages. One saying, you're right about a lot of things, but wrong about some. And I invite you onto my channel to ask me anything you want. And I declined. I'm like, I don't have anything I want to ask you. There's nothing I need to ask you. I don't care. You know, all I'm seeing is I'm going based off of what I see, what you're doing. Simple as that. Eventually we kind of made amends and we were cool with each other, right? And then he subscribed to my channel and it was all good. He even said in one of his videos, the year end of 2022 into 23, that I was a channel to watch out for to be a big YouTuber, you know? Great, I do appreciate that. But I can't stand by when I see this guy, what he's doing, and with all the subscribers he has and no one's, okay. First and foremost, that dude has anger issues, serious anger issues, okay? You might not see it. I certainly do. He's not only been defending Anthony Farrar from Timepiece Gentleman, but that gray market thing. He's just got this thing that whatever Anthony did was the viewer's fault. You know, saying, well, they led him to do this. Now I know if you've watched some of these videos, I'm not saying anything you haven't heard, but for him to say things like that, it was just like, wow, man, that's crazy. And then he's got that watch vault thing, whatever. I wouldn't be a part of that. You couldn't pay me. I get insurance for my watches. Something happens to my watches, I deal with my insurance company. Don't deal with whatever that is that he has. I don't care. But he invites Tim Wright onto his show. I don't know if you guys know who Tim Wright is. He's a big YouTuber and he does these extraordinarily long live streams. I don't watch him. I mean, I'll periodically switch something on for a few minutes, but I don't really watch him. I'm not a fan, and I don't subscribe. I'll just see what he has to say, depending on what the title is. In fact, he's not even on my algorithms anymore. But I did see that where he went on to Paul Thorpe's channel, because Tim Wright, he don't care. It's like, I'll go on, and all Tim Wright did was belittle him, berate him. He had nothing intelligent to say, and anytime Tim Wright tried to even say anything, Paul would just cut him off. You're dumb. You're an idiot. If you say one more thing, I'm cutting you off. And it's like, I haven't even said anything yet. You know what I mean? He's extremely angry. He's got freaking issues up the whatever. It's always been about money for him, even when he says it's not. I got to go to some of the things I wrote down because well, no, I don't. He often scolds his viewers, often, and he plays himself out to be a victim. How does he do that? Well, you know, anything that someone doesn't agree with, he goes on, well, I've tried to do everything. I've done this about watch crime. I would guess I won't be taking any phone calls at 2 a.m. if someone gets robbed of their watch. I mean, why would you do that anyway? That's the police, the job of the police. Well, the police don't do their job. Well, what is it you can do, Paul? Nothing. You know, and what is it? And how do these people get your phone number? Granted, there's all kinds of speculation. I could be, you know, but at the same time, my point is that he's playing the victim as though, you know, it's, you know, I don't know what I've done, and he has to there's no blame on himself. It has to be passed on to somebody else, you know. Then he does the video recently where he's deciding to get back into the business. Good for you, man. And now he's hosting some kind of game show where he wants to get people together and how to buy and sell, flip jewelry or whatever. And in a sense, that's what he's using so he can sell all of this shit to you guys. And he did this thing where he's like, well, you can't go into a shop and buy, say they have something listed for 10,000 pounds. They may give you a 500 pound discount, but I can get it probably for 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. And then I'll flip it to you guys. He's setting you up is what he's doing, in order to just, you know, again, there's whatever it is that he's got going on. The bottom line is, you know, he's extremely angry. He treats his viewers like shit. And people jump on that bandwagon and they all love him. Hey, Paul, you're a saint. You're this. And he praises himself in the segment, but doesn't do anything wrong. So, you know, I mean, he's a bully is what he is. He says he hates bullies, yet he's the one who's bullying people. If you watch his videos, I don't watch all of his videos, but I feel bad. It's just kind of like, dude, you know, if you want to be treated like shit by someone that your channel is, the money you make from your channel is because you have viewers. Right? Like you guys are watching my channel, and it's like if I started scolding you and treating you like shit, you go, fuck this guy, and unsubscribe, right? And well, now I'm not going to make as much money because now you unsubscribed. And what, you know, you can't do that. You know what I mean? It's like being in the record industry. You know what I mean? It's like when someone, you say the music industry, and you treat your fans like shit. It's the fans who got you where you were, and then you forget where you came from, you know? So, you know, it's just what it is. It's like, you know, there's a lot of deceptive elements in some of these channels, you know. O'Sheen's the like perfect one, you know. Again, 100,000 subscribers and whatever, and it boggles my mind how into himself he is. I mean, he's the type of dude that, you know, I would normally say he'd go, well, I'm not even gonna say it, but you know, it's the arrogance, you know, and thinking that you're just the fucking end all of, and the way that you manipulate people as well and contradict, you know. My viewers are, like, I'm not even going to try to do his voice. My viewers are smart. I don't need to tell you to upvote. Then the following video is like, guys, please upvote, the whole thing. You know what I mean? You know, granted, there's so much more to it than just stupid little things like that. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But, you know, to each their own. I'm sure I could rant on and on and on, but I just felt like I needed to get some of this off my chest so I can move forward with my channel, because essentially that's all I want to do is I want to move forward. I don't want really drama. You know, again, I'm just sort of calling out, you know, not understanding, you know, the thing is the gray market in the watch things, these YouTubers now that sell watches, because a lot of them do, the majority of them do, you know, you're under a lot of scrutiny, you know what I mean? And so be careful if you're going to choose to do business with, you know, some of these guys. Forewarning, man, I did it before with TPG, and I got nothing but hate coming back at me, and look what happened, you know. And I'm not patting myself on the back for that shit. I'm just letting you guys know there's a lot of, you know, there are a lot of legitimate watch companies. If you want to buy on the secondary or you want to sell on the secondary, there are a ton of legit companies that will do it without the drama and without the YouTube celebrity shit, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. It's about being a YouTube celebrity. Watches are almost secondary, you know what I mean? These people don't fucking care about watches. It's just something that they're using as a tool to get themselves famous, in a sense, in the YouTube celebrity, the digital online celebrity guy, or whatever you want to call it. You know, Excuse me. But having said that, this was a drink and a rant. And Uku's right here. She says hi. Paco says hello. And I love you guys. So I hope you continue to like and subscribe. And I hope this video didn't offend anyone. And I certainly hope I don't lose subscribers. But however, if that's the way you want to roll with it, by all means. But all right, cool. So we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Peace.